Welcome to Get Wed,
a podcast to plan your wedding by.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Kerrie.
And we're both here as professional photographers
and brides-to-be to help you plan your big day.
Each week we'll discuss a topic that you'll encounter along your wedding planning journey.
And with the help of fellow industry experts, we'll navigate this crazy wedding world
together.
That's the nature of live video. You'll be very glad to know that we don't have this many problems when normally recording a podcast.
Oh dear. Well, we hope we made you all laugh and you didn't all just leave.
Yay! Hi everybody.
Okay, so yes, hello.
Let's get started. Welcome to Get Wed podcast, everyone.
Yeah.
A live Get Wed podcast. It feels really weird doing it this way, I have to say. It's really strange. I'm Kerrie. That's Katie in the corner.
Hello, I'm Katie. I'm like the little devil in the corner.
Yeah, she's just sitting on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So we've decided we're going to do a live podcast today, which is the very first time we've ever attempted this, hence the technical difficulties getting started.
And hence you can tell, can't you?
And because we're going live, we're going to spend our time answering your questions. So if you've been listening to podcasts for a while and you've got something that you want to ask us that we might not have covered, then this is a great time to get your questions answered. And we've got a few people in here. I've seen Stacey and Laura and Annette say hi, everybody.
Yes, and Annette's just got married, so congratulations, Annette.
Yay, congratulations, Annette. Did you say it was 2 days ago or something? I can't remember how she said
I think it was super soon, wasn't it?
She got home from her yesterday from her wedding. So very exciting times.
That's crazy.
Yay, there you are. It's really strange just because there's a bit of a delay as well. So we're saying something and then 5 minutes later it's like, yay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we're just going to kind of just blab along, aren't we, Kerrie? And hopefully we'll hope for the best. So
we are. So like we say, we're going to answer all your questions. Also, there's going to be a chance for you to win yourself a copy of my perfectly planned wedding guide at the end of the podcast. So make sure you're watching to the end. We don't plan to be here forever, so don't worry. How long did we say we're going to do, Katie?
Half an hour tops. You'll probably be pretty bored of us after like 10 minutes. But we're going to sort of try and keep talking for a little while.
Yes. So bear with us. First ever live. But how are you all enjoying the podcast this season? Have you been listening along? We'd love to know. Let us know in the comments. We can do that. We've gotten live feedback. That never happens when we record a podcast.
And especially, if we can be live. Yeah. So no, we really, really hope you're enjoying it, because it's quite strange when you don't get a huge amount of feedback. So it's so nice to be part of this group and sort of hear what you say.
Yeah.
We thought as well, because Annette did have a question earlier. Yeah, no, exactly. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Kerrie. There's a bit of like a delay.
We keep interrupting each other. That's fine. We just keep interrupting each other. But yeah, so we just did it again. It's gonna be fun. Yeah. But yeah, Annette messaged us with a question. So we're going to kind of kick off the episode around that subject. So she mentioned that she got home from her destination wedding yesterday, so congratulations again, and everyone has been telling her that you can start to feel lost or down after your wedding day, so she's looking for maybe some tips on keeping her spirits up afterwards. And she wrote, "P.S. I'm still on a high myself." So this is basically the wedding planning blues, I guess. So what happens after the big day's been and gone and we spent so much time planning it. Did you get post-wedding blues, Katie?
I think I did a little bit. I mean, at the time, I did feel a little bit stressed in the run-up. So I was kind of grateful when it all just happened and it all went well and we all had a nice time. But I think it's like the last few weeks and stuff after, you're a bit like, so what do I kind of do now? Because it does kind of take over your life a bit, doesn't it? I think when you're planning.
Yeah, it's like, what do you talk about now that the wedding's done? It's almost like you've spent so many months planning and talking to everybody you know about, this big day that you're planning together. Even like with each other, all you talk about is your wedding plans as well. And then afterwards it's like,
that's so
what do we focus on now?
Yeah, no, exactly. And then it's just like you've got all this loads of free time and you were like, what did I do with my life before?
Yeah, it's really bizarre. But I don't know whether I really got it.
Did you get the
which
blues?
was strange.
Yeah, you didn't really.
No, I found that I don't know if it's because obviously being a wedding photographer, that after the wedding was done, we had this week on our honeymoon where we talked constantly about the wedding for an entire week. That's literally the only subject we spoke to each other about the whole time we were away, which was nice. But then I kind of came back and got back to reality. Like, I think my first wedding after I got married was 2 weeks after I got married. And so I was just back into like work mode, like photographing other people's weddings. So I don't think I really had the chance to not have anything fill my time.
Yeah, so you were just full in with work and stuff, so you just didn't really, after the honeymoon, that was it then?
Yeah. Mm. But
And
what did
would
you
be
do
your
then
kind
if
of
you
advice,
felt
do you
it?
think, if you do get... Oh,
Just spoke
sorry.
over you. That's all right.
Yeah, I think it's just keep busy and stuff, and like maybe plan a nice holiday or plan a nice date night or something like that. Just plan lots of nice things because the wedding's such a huge countdown. But if you at least plan lots of little mini nice things to do together, it just gives you a little something to look forward to, I think.
Definitely. And I also found perhaps my focus kind of shifted after the wedding onto like house projects. So decorating the house, like a few house, rooms that we hadn't quite finished. And also now I'm like on project garden. So that's probably where my kind of wedding planning time has gone to now, I think.
Yeah, I think kind of doing like a nice creative project as well like that you can really like immerse yourself back into is good. Or even if you've just got friends who're getting married, maybe helping them with their plans and stuff, giving them lots of tips.
Yeah, that's a good idea because then you can still be involved in planning a wedding, but it's not yours. So it's like planning the wedding without the stress.
Which is probably a bit more fun. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So has that helped you in it? And has anyone else? I think everyone who's on live with us aren't married yet, apart from Annette. So we can't really ask anyone else how they feel. But I hope that's helped you anyway, Annette. Hopefully you haven't got post wedding blues quite yet.
Hopefully
you just got back yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. Just be on that lovely high where, like you said, you're in this lovely little bubble, and all you want to do is talk about the wedding and hopefully what a wonderful day you had, and just it's just the best feeling in the world, isn't it? So just enjoy it all.
Yeah. You just find yourself starting conversations like, "Oh, do you remember when that happened? Do you remember when that happened?"
Yeah. Yeah. Or like all the little bits that maybe you didn't see as well is quite nice. So just talking to each other about all the different things that were going on that you didn't realise as well is quite cool.
And it's nice bumping into like your guests or your family after the wedding and them telling you something else that happened as well and being like, "Oh, I didn't realise that happened," or "so and so did that." So it's getting different views of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's so true. I'm trying to see what other questions did we get, Kerrie, from people?
We got a question from Laura, and she said, "I get married in just over a month and I feel a little bit lost. What should I be doing now that we are so close? Do you have any advice?"
Well, Kerrie, you'll be pro at this because you're your little planning guide as well.
Shall I get it up again?
So what do you... Yeah, go on. Flog it a bit more. So what do you suggest people do then when they get to that stage?
Well, I'm sure we did an episode on this. Like, didn't we have an episode? We did. We had an episode called Last Minute Wedding Panics. Just trying to scroll through and remember when what season it was in so I can let you know. Where has it gone? Do you remember what season it was, Katie?
I don't. It's really bad. I think quite a lot of it was talking about a month before you're kind of paying quite a lot of people, which can be a little bit like, oh, it feels horrible at the time, doesn't it? When you've got all these bills coming in. But then also quite wonderful when they're all done and you can just look forward to the wedding. You don't have to worry anymore about it.
Yeah, I found it. It was season 3, episode 9, and it's called Last Minute Wedding Panics. So, and I think that we recorded that 2 or 3 weeks before my wedding. So we were kind of in that process of like, what should I be doing now? And I was having the proper panic on, so that was good. But yeah, it's things like making sure all your DIY projects are kind of finished up, or you've got the time to finish your DIY projects. Maybe getting timings of the day down, planning when your bridesmaid should arrive round, so that you've got enough time to get everyone ready in the morning. I think we mentioned silly things as well, like taking the labels out of your dress and off of the bottom of your shoes, so that that's not the last thing you're flustered with on the day.
That is such a good tip. Yeah, that's such good advice, because the amount of times I pick up some shoes or something and they've got the sticky little label on, or when you're trying to get ready in the morning, the last thing you want to be doing is saying like, who's got some scissors and can I? So just, cut all the labels out. That's really good advice.
Definitely. And then also with the last minute wedding things that month before, it's things like making sure your table plan's done, making sure you've got your RSVPs back, because that's quite a problem. I don't know if you had to chase many of your RSVPs, but that was stressful. So yeah, and I found as well in the week leading up to wedding, I had to keep changing seating plans and stuff. So you'll find there's all these like little jobs that start to accumulate. Making like a little basket of things to put in the toilet at the venue as well, like for your guests to use, like plasters, paracetamol, that sort of thing.
Oh, that's a nice idea. That's very...
Yeah. It's just all the little jobs, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think it's
together at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's all like the little annoying things, really, that sometimes you just go, oh, I'll do that at some point, but then it kind of gets down to the countdown and you think, yeah, I need to do it now.
Yeah. It might even be things like, have you got gifts for your bridesmaids? Not saying you have to do that, by the way. Don't feel pressured. But if you're going to do that, have you got gifts for your bridesmaids? Maybe you should arrange some flowers for your mums, for speeches, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Or little thank you cards, or maybe a little prezi for your husband or wife to be, maybe as well.
Yes.
I mean, again, you don't have to, but sometimes some people do that, so maybe doing that.
That's a good idea. You could even get you could even get a headway on writing your thank you cards. That's terrible though. You shouldn't do that. You should wait till after the wedding.
So yeah. No, I think just all the little fiddly annoying bits, I would say, as well as paying people. Probably all the rubbishy stuff. But then you can just look forward to it, so it's all good.
Yeah, definitely. Annette's had a question which is just put in on here. Oh, it's about the photos.
Yeah, thank you, Annette. So, yes, we're a big fan.
Is there a site or a way I could have all my guests upload their photos from the wedding? I'm getting bombarded by tags and posts on Facebook, but I want everyone to get to see them. So, what do you think, Katie?
Didn't you mention there was a site that you talked about before, Kerrie, that people can pop things
into?
So
I've never used it myself, but I've noticed other couples using it at their wedding. So there's a website which I think is called Wedpics, and I don't know if it's wedpics.com or wedpics.co.uk, but I'm sure if you search Wedpics, but it's the only more times I can say it, even though they're not sponsoring us, they will that will pop up. And I think the idea behind that is that either on the day at the wedding, you can put out these little cards that encourage your guests to upload the photos to their website, so they're all in one place for you, or you could send it out with your thank you cards or something and get everyone to upload their photos that way. I think you get like a little code or something to log in, and then everyone who submitted photos from your wedding will all be in that one album. But yeah, I've seen it a couple of times at weddings, so I don't know how well it actually works or whether people did actually upload photos, but that might be an option. But how did you see photos from your wedding, Katie? Nice, did you?
I think it was the same. I think it was just gradually a few on Facebook, maybe. I did do a Instagram hashtag, so I know it might be a bit late in it if you didn't do that, but that was quite a good way of kind of herding a few pictures. I mean, quite a few of them aren't any good, but then I think you're kind of desperate for anything, actually, aren't you? After the wedding, you want like any picture, any moment that was there at all.
Definitely. I didn't care whether it was blurry and you couldn't see me in it. I just wanted to see a photo after the wedding. It could have been the back of my head. I was like, I didn't care.
Yeah. You just want to absorb that in, don't you?
And I think, what was your hashtag?
I think it was Herbert's, because my new surname was Herbert, so not very original. I think you should try and think of something quite funny. What was yours?
I don't think we had one. No, we didn't have one.
Did you not?
But I can't think of Misa is no, and Misa's quite a not a very common name anyway, so we could have just literally had Mises, I think, and it would have been all right. But no, we didn't do one. Perhaps we should have done that.
Yeah, that's true. Oh.
Another option, if you had lots of guests who do use Facebook, and you say you're getting bombarded with tags and things, you can set up a photo album on your profile, which you can then invite people to add to. So I tried that after my wedding. I literally just opened a Facebook album, and then I put a message on it out to everyone saying, I really want to see photos from the wedding. I don't care if they're of me and Russell. I just wanted to see photos that they'd taken of each other and stuff as well. Stuff that had just gone on that I didn't see. So, and I was like, and I just invited them to contribute to that shared album. So I can't remember off the top of my head how to do it, but there is a way to do it from your personal profile. So that might be worthwhile if a lot of your guests are Facebook users.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a bit harder with older guests because I'm sure, you know, if you're not that internet savvy, it's a bit trickier. But then it's quite a good excuse to maybe go around their house. If they took pictures the old-fashioned way, have a look at the prints together, or even just take your album round if it's like your nan or granddad or something. Just go around to their house, have a cup of tea and have a chat and show them pictures and stuff as well. I think if they're a bit older and they can't use the internet, not to be patronising, but
yeah, that's a good idea. Has anyone else got any questions in the group? Let us know. There's a little bit of a delay, so we'll just do a little bit of a dance while we wait.
Yeah, we'll just do like a little bit more everything on. Oh, actually, we did get a email through, Kerrie, from somebody. So Sally did ask us, how long should you leave for group photos?
Oh my God, that's like, how long is a piece of string?
Is a little bit, isn't it? So obviously it's a bit tricky because it kind of depends on who you've got, but I would say maybe be a bit strict with yourself. Only do the ones that you're going to print, you're going to look at and treasure, and don't worry about getting pulled into doing hundreds and hundreds because you'll get fed up, won't you, Kerrie, don't you think?
You would definitely get fed up. So I always tell my couples to do no more than 8 to 10 maximum group photos. Because after that point, you are going to get so bored of standing there and smiling. And your face will hurt.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's like just kind of, it can be quite good fun, but if you... Oh, sorry.
That's right. You go.
Yeah, if you sort of allow if you allow about 5 minutes max for each shot, just in case somebody's like in the loo or by the bar, just allow a good kind of half an hour, if not a tiny bit more. And hopefully it'll be done quicker than that, I always sort of say, but just give yourself lots of time and just try and make it nice and quick and fun, I think is kind of what I try and do.
I think that 5 minute rule per photo is a really good idea for group photos because it's probably more time than you need, but it gives you buffer time. And I'm a massive fan of like buffering in danger time in your wedding schedule. So make sure you kind of got that information or that kind of spare time there. So if somebody has gone to the loo or is wandering around the gardens, then it won't impact too much by having to go find them and bring them over and still keep everything to time. But plan them beforehand, definitely, because otherwise you'll just stand there and people keep adding people in or coming up with new combinations for groups, and then you'll honestly get so fed up and just want it to end.
Yeah, no, that's so true. And like Annette's also written in a really good tip here as well. So assign a person to maybe help. So a maid of honour if you've got one, or best man, or even just someone who is like me and they have a loud mouth, and then you can get everyone to pull them in and help you round people up.
That's a good idea, actually. If you let your photographer know the names of the people that are going to be in your photo, rather than just bridegroom and our parents, let them know, you know, your mum and dad's name, or you know, your uncle's name, so that we can shout the name out rather than just going bride's uncle,
Uncle Charlie. Yeah,
exactly like that. Getting a taste of how Katie is at weddings.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit more polite, I promise. But yeah, so no, and it can be good fun, can't it? It's still nice to show who is there, but yeah, just don't go too mental, I would say. So yeah,
no,
about
exactly.
half an hour.
You want it,
I would say, is good.
And we did do an episode all about this. Actually, there'd be 2 really handy episodes about this that you can watch. One was planning your group shots, which was in season 4. Let me just find the episode number. It was season 4, episode...
Oh, she's so good.
Where is it? Season 4, episode 3 was planning your group photos. So that'll be a really handy one if you're wondering what kind of group photos you need to have and the important ones you should do. And then we also did an episode all about planning your wedding day timings, which was episode number, where is it? I should know these off the top of my head.
We've done quite a lot now, haven't we? So we'll let you off, don't worry.
We have, that's the problem. I'm going to find it. It was called Planning Your Wedding Day Timings.
I'm trying to look at time as well. I think we've nearly been rabbiting on for a little while as well.
We have. We'll wrap it up soon. So it was season 2, episode 2, Planning Your Wedding Day Timings. So that'd be a good one to work out how much time you will have spare to fit in group photos, and then you can work out how many you can do in that time, which is the best way to go about it.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Cool. So I think that's kind of everybody's questions.
It is. Hi, Christy and Jenny, who've just joined. This will stay live, so you can go back and watch it because you just caught us right at the end. But thanks for joining us.
Oh, and do type in a question quickly if you've got one for us, and we can stick around.
Definitely.
And if not, we'll let Kerrie go and have her tea.
Yeah, I haven't had my dinner yet. My stomach keeps rumbling. But yeah, next week's episode is our last episode for season 5. So I hope you've all been enjoying listening along to this season. As per usual, we're back in the autumn because we're going to have a little break whilst things go mad with wedding season. We're already kind of in the thick of it, photographing weddings most weekends at the moment. Are you busy, Katie?
Yeah, I'm getting back into it now. I'm still got George sort of keeping me quite busy, but I'm doing quite a few this year now. So yeah, it's good. Oh, thank you, Annette. That's really sweet of you.
Yeah, that's really nice, mate. And we're always really surprised by how many listeners we have in America, because we've obviously planned this for UK weddings, but it seems that it transfers over quite well. So it's really nice to know that it's been helpful and we haven't been really irrelevant to the American market.
Yeah, no, definitely, because things are a little bit different, aren't they, over the States? But that's that's really nice. Thank you.
So yeah, we're going to wrap things up.
Cool. So yeah,
I'm starving hungry.
Yeah. Kerrie, do you want to quickly tell us about your wedding planning book?
Yes. So if there's some of you who are interested in maybe winning yourself a copy of this, this is my wedding planning guide. So it's helping you with starting plan your wedding right from the beginning, right through to the end. And also gives you access to some Excel spreadsheets to plan your budget and keep track of your guest list and stuff. All you need to do to win one of those is enter our listener survey. And you will be informed about that when it goes live on next week's episode. Because it's our last episode of season 5, we just want to catch up with you all, make sure what we're doing is still relevant to you all. And you can let us know about any changes you might want us to make or any ideas for upcoming episodes.
Cool. So thank you all so much for joining us today. And we will speak to you soon in the last episode and then next season. So yeah, take care and happy planning, everybody.
Yeah, happy planning. We should do that together like we do on the podcast.
Yeah, we should do it. Happy planning. Oh, it's actually jazz hands as well, whereas you can actually say that.
Happy planning. It's impossible to do with the time delay, so we're just going to keep going.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, thank you
so
all for
much,
joining
everybody.
us, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks for listening. We really hope that you've enjoyed this episode of Get Wed. Don't forget you can always subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, and while you're there you may as well leave us a review. You can join us for more wedding chat in our Facebook group if you just can't wait until next week. You'll find all the links that you need via our website, including show notes for this episode, over at getwedpodcast.co.uk. We'll see you next time. Happy planning!